Hello, these are my thoughts on Windows 8 Consumer Preview. The main thing you need to know is that there are a couple of gestures, excuse me while I type my password, that you need to know to navigate around the operating system. They're, I think, more intuitive if you've got a touchscreen, but I'm obviously showing you with a mouse, as the majority of people have PCs that don't have touchscreens. You can of course scroll, but there's a scroll bar at the bottom here. Right now I have a couple of applications open. Top left hand corner, I can cycle through just by clicking, or if I move my mouse down, then I get a list of all the applications that are open. At the bottom I get a thumbnail of my start screen. Start screen is really easy. In the bottom right hand corner there's a little magnifying glass, and so you can drag groups around really easily. If you right click up there at the bottom, it says all apps, and here we have a really nice way of looking at all your applications, much better than a start menu. In the start menu you had all programs and then a ton of folders, and if you had Google Chrome for example, you had a folder called Google Chrome, and inside it was just Google Chrome. There was nothing else. So here you just have all the Metro style applications, and we have folder names all with their applications already laid out, so there's no more clicking. It's really good. If you go to top right hand corner, you get search, share, start, devices and settings. Start takes you back home, but also if you've gone into Internet Explorer for example and you hit start and then you're back at the home screen, if you hit start again you then go back into Internet Explorer, so that's good. There are a few things that I think Microsoft needs to improve upon before they start selling Windows 8 to the general public and having it pre-installed on laptops and desktops and tablets, and these are maybe make the desktop default, or not default, but you can choose the desktop to be default, because if you're migrating over from Windows 7 and all your business programs work on Windows 7, every time you boot up you have to click the desktop to get to where you want to be. And I know you can pin applications and you can just use it like a Windows 7 desktop normally, but it is going to be a bit frustrating if every single time you turn on you have to go desktop. I mean, if every single time you do it, you may as well have the option to have it as default anyway. And I think when companies and people they're using this desktop as default, and then they go, hold on, I want to check my email, I want to check my Facebook, then what's wrong with them going over to start and using this screen for that? And then eventually, as more and more Metro applications are released, they'll spend more and more time here and be happier and happier with it, instead of forcing it upon them straight away and scaring people off. I mean, if I'm a PC newbie and I'm used to Windows 7 on my laptop and I want to go and buy a new one, and I go into a computer shop and I see this, then I'm going to be a little more intimidated than if I went and I saw this with an option to get to the start screen. Metro version of Microsoft Office. I'm sure this is in the works, because Microsoft, you're rumoured to be making it for the iPad, so why you wouldn't make it for Windows 8 as well is beyond me. But it'd be great for Windows 8 tablets, and it will be great that if the desktop is default, at promoting this side of things again, and just switching users over and making sure all the regular programs they use are Windows 8 compatible. More Metro applications. I'm sure this is just because you were getting the whole user interface idea out to everybody, and you probably have these in the works and you wanted to make them finished and polished and they can ship with the final version of Windows 8. But Paint, Notepad, Sound Recorder and Calculator are all desktop applications, which means if I have an ARM tablet, they're not going to work. What? I think Paint on a tablet would be great fun, and certainly there's nothing like it built into an iPad, so again, you'd have a winner on your hands if Windows 8 tablets shipped with that. Metro Movie Maker, again, coming up against the iPad. On an iPad you have to buy iMovie, whereas if you can have Windows Movie Maker either built in, so you pick up your tablet out of the box and it already does more than an iPad, or as a free download, that's going to be an amazing selling point. As well, if you can please make it less amateur than Windows Movie Maker currently is. I mean, if you could do some green screen effects, you're really going to start eating into people who use iPad for video editing. They're going to sort of say, well, I want to do green screen and I want to be able to make my own custom titles. Let's do this on Windows 8 tablet. I love this desktop background. Why can't I have it on my start screen? Also, just animations and stuff aren't quite as smooth as they could be, because it's a consumer preview and not the final product. That I'm expected to be smoothed out. Also, turning off your computer, I have to log out, so I have to click my username and sign out, which then takes this time. And it's done it quite quickly. When I did it earlier and I had a lot of applications open, it took a fair amount of time. But then I've got this lock screen. Bearing in mind I'm the only user on this computer, so why I can't just turn off from the start screen is beyond me. But then I have to swipe up and click turn off. Why is that long? Why isn't there an off button on the start screen?